Module 3.3, Rizal and his economical diet and lifestyle.
As observed from the previous modules, Rizal held back on even the most basic necessities during his time of need. In one of his December letters to Maria, he says that he will indulge in bathing to satiety when he gets home, for since the middle of August I haven't taken a bath and I haven't perspired either, attributing it to the cold climate of Madrid as well as the high costs that will entail him if he bathes. For instance, Rizal's stay in Heidelberg allowed him to freely enjoy these, as the cost of living there was more economical compared to Madrid, and so he ate heartily. In fact, he had soup, 3 dishes, dessert, wine, potatoes, salad, cabbage, and a variety of vegetables for lunch, and even had extra money to visit a particular beer hall, frequently enough to know the waitress's name and that she was skilled in writing. He also ate breakfast regularly during these times, as opposed to when he used to have only a glass of water for breakfast. Being in Heidelberg allowed Rizal to freely enjoy these things, as the cost of living there was quite low. Rizal also occasionally gave in to his only vice, gambling. According to the footnotes in his Madrid diary, he would invest from 3 to 6 pesetas monthly in lottery tickets. Additionally, as seen in Jose Alejandrino's The Price of Freedom, apart from the way he calculated their expenses in his shared room with Alejandrino to see how much they would save without breakfast and how he specifically rationed the biscuits, his spending habits were also affected by external factors beyond his control, such as when his pension did not arrive on time, which put him on a tight budget. Due to this, his money was only enough for a ration of bread and water for several days. In these situations, we see Rizal's pride manifest itself in how he handled his financial crisis, accepting help from friends when necessary, but trying his best to never show others that he was going through hardships, with the exception of his family, whom he frequently reached out to. During his stay in Madrid, he notes the necessity of keeping up this bravado that brought me here out of self-respect, despite barely having enough to get by, and acknowledges his hardships by saying, God knows how many months in Madrid I'll need to recover the advance expenses I'm incurring here. Further, Rizal refused to work in manual labor despite his desperate need for money when the less fortunate time came during his stay in Madrid, because doing so was considered humiliating. Despite experiencing hunger, Rizal tried his best to keep up his personal dignity and that of his race, to the extent of concealing even to his landlady his precarious situation. It was also mentioned that he would leave the house during lunch and dinner to make it appear as if he was eating out. You cannot imagine how much I suffered walking along the streets, smelling the pleasant odor of the victuals that were being prepared in the kitchens. The palatable foods which were exhibited in the show windows of the food stores contributed to make my hunger more acute. Considering how Rizal previously mentioned that he was eager to change foreigners' perceptions of Filipinos, maybe this was his way of trying to change the impression that they had of him as one of the few Filipinos residing in a foreign land at the time. This desire of his was given light in a letter to the members of La Solidaridad, where Rizal advises the others by saying, the spirit of tolerance ought to prevail when it concerns trifles that do not affect the essential part of a thing, and that the individual should give weight to the welfare of the society. Rizal's determination not to seek help does not go unnoticed by his companions, as Evaristo Aguirre points out Rizal's chest ailment, which only one other person knew about. Upon going through the archives of the salvaged correspondence between Rizal and his family, one can see that Rizal makes no mention of this even to his family, despite the abundance of letters that he wrote them during this period of time. The honesty and gratitude he never ceased to show is seen in his spending habits as he acknowledges when he has enough or has a surplus and ensures that he does not abuse the kindness of those who offer him help. After experiencing the low cost of living in Germany, Rizal declares how he now has enough money to get by and that his allowance could be further reduced if he did not need to replace his underwear. Upon finding out that the Nina and Senora Sisa sent him 50 pesos as a Christmas present, Rizal says that he is grateful but asks that these be returned so as to not pressure his other brothers-in-law to do the same. He reiterates the sentiment by asking his sister Saturnina to help explain where he is coming from to the relatives and mentions that he will ask for money should he need it. Though Rizal says that his financial situation was just fine, it should be noted that this letter was written around a month after he mentioned that it has been approximately 4 months since he last took a bath.
End of Module 3.3.